Mic check. One of the Masters podcast. I was made of course. Got two special guests across from me. Do y'all mind saying y'all names and what y'all represent?
Ronique West, Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce.
Shagrayla Hammond, Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce.
Thank y'all too for stopping by. Real quick, I do want to start with this though. I know whenever I do my episodes, I try to get people to know the people first. So I don't know who go. Let you go first, I guess. Like tell me where you're from and how you, or if you're not from here, how you got here.
Okay, sure. So I'm Ronique West. I'm originally from Indianapolis, Indiana. Also have lived in Memphis, Tennessee for a little bit. I got here because my daughter wanted to go to college in Georgia.
And you from?
I'm from Augusta.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm from Augusta. Have moved away a few times, but keep on coming back, and I probably will continue to keep coming back.
Well, let me ask you that because you mentioned that before too. Wait, what when you say coming back, what make you come back to Augusta? What is it about Augusta?
I do not know, and I was talking to someone earlier. Augusta has a certain magic to it. Like, and I know that sounds crazy to be like, oh, it's Augusta. But like I've lived in other cities before and it's just something about it. I don't know if it's the fact that it's home or the fact that there is a good greatness here in the city. The city has not realized that it's greatness here in the city.
Tell me about it.
But there is something good here. And I just keep getting drawn back to it.
That's dope. That's amazing. So I want to get into what y'all here to represent. Before I talk about that, give me a little bit about your background because I know last time we spoke, I didn't want to be out of context. So give me a little bit about your background and what you do.
Okay, sure. So my background is I was in corporate America for up 10 years. a lot of years. You could say that was like my pre-retirement. And I end up like leaving my job on my birthday and then start going into entrepreneurship and then eventually end up deciding to grow the chamber or build a chamber of commerce with the input from the community, just asking for something to pull business owners together and so forth. And I told everybody no 3 times. And then I finally said, okay, I'll actually.
So I have to ask because you said it, you said that you left on your birthday. What was the significance of your birthday and then you leaving? Like, is it linked together or it just happened to be that day?
It just happened. Well, no, I don't know. I don't even know. I think it was just I was planning on that being my last year in that job at that company. And then that weekend of my birthday, it was just like revelations, a lot of just viewing life and this, that, and other, and a lot of crying, right? When you're going through transition sometimes. And so I woke up that morning and it was just like, you need to go ahead and let this go. And I let it go and look back since.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what about you? Like, as far as your background, like, give me a little bit about your background before I get into some questions.
So before I got in this position, I've done a lot of things. Pretty much coming out of college, I rebelled against like my parent. I didn't want to just get a regular job like they wanted me to get. So I just decided to start like my own business out of spite, and I had no idea what I was doing. So pretty much I've been an entrepreneur since 2015, 14. And then from there, did like a few like side jobs, just of course to keep income coming in. And then I think the pandemic is really when I was just like, okay, I can't keep, flying by the seat of my pants with entrepreneurship. So I actually just got a real job, and then I entered the chamber.
I just had to ask, what made you rebel against your parents? Like, why was it? Why was it a rebellious?
I was 17 years old, and my mom was telling me I need to think about my retirement and my 401k. Like, get a career that can set you up for your retirement.
The things we used to have.
And your 401k. And I'm just like, I'm 17.
I don't know. Your mom was on to something, man.
She was, but still, it was like, girl, I'm not ready.
So I know y'all here represent the Greater Augusta Black Chamber. Tell me a little bit about that, and then also, I make sure I'm saying it because when I say that, and I was talking to somebody there, I said I'm about to do a podcast, and I was saying, they like, you mean the Black Chamber of Commerce? I said, well, that's not what they're calling it. They're calling it the Greater Augusta. So was it both right? I'm right. Y'all right?
It's all in the name. Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Greater Augusta though, like let's start with that. Like
Okay, sure. So it was Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce because it was me and two other co-founders, and I said in Augusta, the other co-founder said in North Augusta, and the other co-founder said in Aiken. And so we wanted to make sure that the chamber always represented the CSRA as a whole. But wanted to go ahead and just use the Greater Augusta. So that's why it's the Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce.
okay.
Yeah, so it's based in Augusta but covers the CSRA.
And I know it's based in Augusta, but like, is it only limited to Augusta people? Like,
No. So
okay.
you can definitely join wherever you are in the CSRA. We actually have folks who are not in CSRA that are members at this point because they find a lot of value out of the organization and chamber.
Okay. Well, I want to get straight into it. I'm gonna ask that first. So, what is it? Like, what is the Greater Augusta like, Chamber of
You want to cover
Commerce?
it? You want me to cover it? Okay. So the Great Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce, we're basically a conduit between business community and government. Is how I would break it down, just in simple terms. We're all about advocating for the community, forming strategic partnerships to make sure we get resources to the community, focusing on bringing resources even from a federal, state, and local level to our community. So we run pro capacity building programs to train business owners is one big thing that we've done. We've done 6 in the last 2 years. We're currently in the middle of 2 programs right now, actually. And then we do networking like any other chamber, ribbon cuttings, of course. But we have a lot of information we give to our members. We have member only meetings and so forth. Just really about having that full resource and safe space for Black and minority business owners in the community.
But I'm glad you said that. You said Black minority, but it's not only limited to Black minorities. I know
No.
they hear the name, and it's Black in there, so I don't want. I'll make sure.
Yes,
If
we
I
only
know.
say Black once in the name.
Okay,
There we
gotcha.
go. We're in the
Okay,
room.
okay. Oh, but I know, and I asked that question about what it is, but do you find that people don't know exactly what it is? Like, when you say
Definitely,
Chamber of
definitely.
Commerce?
Yes. A lot of people don't know what a chamber of commerce is, and that's just any chamber.
Right.
A lot of times that's not an uncommon question that even people have. They're like, what does a chamber of commerce do, and so forth. And so you got to think about it if you're when there are initiatives that happen in the community, as far as a city initiative, or even when people are moving to a community,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna look for the chamber of commerce's like your tourism department to reach out to find out, hey, I'm thinking about moving this side of town. Who are the realtors? Who are the construction workers? We're trying to find this particular thing in the area. Does it make sense for your area? So they're looking for that organization to go to, try to get those details. Also, when it comes to initiatives, you want to make sure you have representation to table, right? And so when you're talking from a small business, Black or minority business perspective, it's a complete different conversation than when you're talking about larger business and owners and so forth.
But I know earlier you had said that y'all serve as a conduit, and I think that's like the perfect example because when people do come here, they reach out to you guys to see who else to reach out to.
Yes.
So it's kind of like it's beneficial for not only business to be a part of, but to know and to build that relationship with y'all. I'm assuming.
Definitely. For networking purposes, for growing their business, for sustaining their business, for seeing the opportunities that are coming into the community. Also, definitely getting training. I think we're very heavy on the training aspect because the market's changing, right? We got artificial intelligence is getting ready to impact our community, and really impact jobs. Black workers are gonna get impacted the worst when it comes to artificial intelligence and the route that we're going. And so it's going to impact the Black worker, I think 5 to 10 times worse than any other worker, because of the industries that are going to be really ramshacked, for the most part with
Well,
artificial intelligence.
well, I mean, I don't know if you know, but like, what kind of businesses they plan on like that would it
Trucking is
affect?
definitely.
Trucking's definitely one of them.
Okay.
So hopefully, if you're a trucker, you're already looking into the technology and changing and transitioning with the technology. And the jobs are just going to shift. This is not the first industrial revolution that we've been through. If you think about the automobile industry and how Detroit, went through that change. And so we go through different, industrial revolutions. And so we're going through another one right now, actually. But if you think about customer service agent, most people are going into
That's what I
gas
was going
stations
to ask you,
now.
yeah.
You're seeing that they want you to put your stuff on the counter, pay for your stuff yourself.
Yeah.
And, so think about those type of jobs. That's and that's usually a lot of where our employees are.
I asked that too because you said the artificial intelligence, and I wondered if that would play a part with like I know they got these things now where like you can make somebody's voice be somebody's voice. I don't know how that
Yes.
plays a
Yeah.
part, but then I also seen today and I didn't know too much into it, but I just had seen somebody post about it that T-Mobile had laid off a lot of workers today.
Oh
I don't know if
Mhm.
wow.
that's why. I don't. I don't know. But
Well,
when you say that, I think like, did they find replacements to handle those issues? You know.
yes, yes. So I know that I know it was T-Mobile, but I know it was one company. I was just talking to my daughter and about her friend. She was saying her job had literally told them last week that they were adding in AI chatbots that they would not be hiring any more workforce.
Mm.
And so they're stopping all their hiring practices of humans because they have literally hired in this AI workforce. Just to let everybody know that that's kind of where the direction that things are going. Again, you're gonna end up wanting to get into the jobs of, you know, create I want to say correcting the technology,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
fixing the technology, programming the
Like
technology,
IT.
fixing,
Yeah. So
fixing.
tech is about to be a
Tech is
big
gonna be,
industry, but it's also
but it's gonna change.
yeah, because
Yeah,
a lot
because
of people
they
are getting laid off because they're
right,
not keeping up with the times and
right.
they're making changes. But then people are going to probably get rehired because they're going to see that they're creating so much AI so
Hmm.
fast that they're going to need someone to fix them.
Yeah, I was
Mm.
listening to a tech guy the other day, and he was saying that they wouldn't be any more data programmers because the AI can program itself.
Yeah.
So you have AI that's doing the programming now, and it's doing it quicker, right, than a human being is.
Right.
So the reason why I'm bringing that out is because entrepreneurship is where a lot of people are going to land. They're going to learn into 1099 contract work. We've seen it happen during the pandemic. A lot of people shift into
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurship. So I think Georgia is the number one state for businesses right now, and it's one of the top 5 states for black owned businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you think about that, a lot of people switching due to the pandemic. You got to have training. You have to have the support, the resources for all the new entrepreneurs that are out there, and the entrepreneurs that are going to be shifted into this world.
So, what is something like that y'all offer for like entrepreneurs, whether they new or old,
Mhm.
young or whatever? Like, what are some things that you guys offer for entrepreneurship or to help train entrepreneurs?
So she mentioned earlier we're in our sixth program, so pretty much programs are big for us.
Yeah.
So currently, right now, we have our Step Up program, which is pretty much a hybrid setup where once a month we do one training on a specific topic, and each topic kind of tells the journey of business. So it
Mm.
starts from how to make sure that you are growing your business, pretty much the start and the growth, and then it takes you all the way to like the conception and then making sure that you sustain your business. And we tell that story that way that people can um, understand the structure of business, but also see the direction they need to take with business. And then from there, you can also get one-on-one, like technical assistant with someone from the team. Bring in people if you need someone. Let's say someone needs to talk to CPA. Sure to try to work that for you if we can. Or if someone needs to understand marketing, we make sure that we cover the marketing piece. We do a lot of different topics, helping you understand your business a little better.
Yeah.
But the number one thing we don't do is, of course, we don't just give you a handout because we don't, just give people. You have to work for them.
Real quick, CPA. Can you tell me what that means? Know what that is?
Yes, I never
I
remember
don't know
the
if I'm supposed to
acronym.
know what that is. I
Certified
don't.
professional accountant.
Thank
Okay.
you. I never remember I never remember the middle. I just be like, it's certified accounting. What does the P stand for?
Hopefully, I said it right.
Why,
So.
but why is that important? Like to have like what role does that person play within business?
Your finances is like the number one thing you need for your business. Like if you don't understand that, if you're not taking care of that and controlling that, then what are you doing with your business? You're hustling or you got a hobby.
Mm.
So you have to make sure you're paying yourself. If you have a product based business, you have to make sure that you're taking care of your inventory. You want to make sure that your finances are always good. So making sure you have someone on the team that can help you with that and who can help you understand that. That way you're paying yourself, you're paying your staff, you're keeping money within the business, and you're just not always losing money. That's very, very important. Um, so that's the number one thing that we stress with people, getting that person on the team to make sure your books are always good.
Mm.
Because when you file your taxes, you don't want to just call a loss every single time if you actually made money in your business. You make sure you're in good standing because you want to get loans, you want to get grants, you want to be able to do things, and a CPA can assist you with that.
But that brings me to another point. But you mentioned the taxes. So this is just stuff I heard. I ain't saying I don't do this. I don't know who does this. It's just stuff I heard. So I had heard that some people they do file loss on their taxes
Mhm.
on purpose so they can get money back for their business. But I also heard that hurts you in the long run because when you're trying to get a loan,
Mhm.
it looks as though your business just didn't make money for the last 6, 7 years.
Yep.
So yeah, we taught that tax strategy.
Mhm.
And so that's some things that we're gonna talk that we'll be training and continue to train, which have been in our training courses, but we'll continue to train even in the current program we have right now, Step Up program. But really that's a conversation a business owner needs to have with their CPA, especially if they know that they are getting ready to apply for a business loan, if they're trying to buy a house, any of those things. If you're constantly writing off everything, it looks as if you have absolutely no income, right? You could be making money, but if you're writing everything off, then you have zero income. So you have to make sure you have that income to show that you can get approved for that loan. So a lot of times business owners find themselves not getting approved because they don't understand that their tax accountant or CPA making sure they don't have a tax liability, meaning they're not paying taxes.
Mm.
And so by them doing that, they're like, oh, I don't have a tax bill. So they're excited about that. But then when they go apply for something, they can't get approved. Well, it's because you're showing you have no income.
Yeah, and I know it's probably out of sequence though, but like I remember we spoke a while back and we was talking about like, got TikTok and you got Facebook and they tell you like how to make money. But like, well, get your LLC and then it's like a bunch of wild it's a bunch of wild stuff afterwards. Like it don't make sense. But to the average person that's using social media as their glasses for how to run a
Yes.
business, to them that's what they're gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna just start this. It's only cost this amount of money. I'm gonna do this all year. I'm gonna write off my gas and my clothes and this, that, and third. And then in the year, I'm gonna file it as a loss. I'm gonna get it back, and I'm gonna just do that every year.
Okay. Yep. So I think it just depends on. We had this conversation last night in class about taking your hustle to a business. So if you want to structure your business to be a business, you need certain things: CPA, business bank account, have a tax strategy, have a business plan, ensuring that your your monetization is right in your business. So and understanding your budget alone the year, even understanding what that is, forecasting, all those great things. And so we talked a lot about, hey, I'm not going to knock hustles. And this is exactly what I said. I said, I knock hustles because I understand how hustles have supported the Black community,
Right.
For ways of what the history we've been through over the last 400 years in this country. So we can't knock our hustles, but I always encourage people to say, okay, well, you keep your hustle because a lot of people have hustles still, but make sure you have a business that is structured so you can understand what that is so you can then begin to leverage and have employees, or even if you want to be self-employed, sustain yourself, be able to take care of your family, whatever your goals may be, whether you're self-employed, have employees, end up being a large business. We want to make sure that you have that support you need to get the things that you want to get and then understand the difference between that hustle and that business. And I think that's more in the hustle realm where you're keeping that way. But if you have business, you're probably going to pay taxes, right? Usually your tax strategist, your CPA is going to put you on where you're paying taxes quarterly, or they may say, hey, put this to the side every month. You can make sure you can pay your taxes at the end of the year. This is where you're growing. You're gonna make over 6 figures in revenue this year. We got to change you to an S corp. Those are the type of conversations we're gonna make sure you're having, and make sure you have the right professionals in your business to help you with that.
Everything just sounded
Or
foreign to me.
strategize
But
your
it sounded
hustle.
like I know it made a lot of sense. I know it did, but it sounded so foreign to me. S
Yes.
corp, all that stuff. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. You can, but I mean, that's even to the point of like putting in layman's terms, strategize your hustle.
Yeah.
Like, putting it in a way that you can understand it. Keep your hustle, but just make sure that you're strategically hustling, making sure you have the right people on your team.
Right.
I'm not going to drag y'all into it, but I know that was a thing last year. I don't know if y'all be familiar with that kind of stuff, but it was a thing last year, like with entrepreneurs and what's a real business owner, and you can't be a business owner if you really work for a business. It was like a thing last year.
Oh yeah,
It was
that's
a
right.
thing.
The on the social media.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah, social media
nine,
doesn't
the 9 to 5 people were beefing with the entrepreneurs, and which is like,
Ah.
if you're working a 9 to 5, then you can't be a business owner. But like, because a lot of people were realizing like
That was really a thing.
No,
it was
Oh,
seriously
it was
a
like
thing.
30 days,
Oh,
30 days
wow.
straight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Seriously?
like across
Every
Twitter
now and then you
and
still see a
Facebook.
jab.
It's like,
yeah.
Oh wow.
like somebody will.
They don't understand teams, do they?
It was heavy in Augusta though.
Okay.
Because award shows, so they were like, this person shouldn't be
Okay.
out there
Okay.
entrepreneur. They work at Samsung.
I'm-
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm kind of on social media, but I'm really not. But that may be why. I try not to get involved in those things. I try to just make sure to stay. Honestly, I really try to stay just neutral. So that way, I can provide the services I need to provide. Don't because social media, everybody should know this. Anything you're putting in your mental can really dictate your day and what you end up bringing in your life. Even if you think
absolutely.
you're just on there arguing or kind of debating, it is still subconsciously getting into your brain. So please go tell that. But to bring that back into fruition about the 9 to 5 versus hustle versus business, you understand the importance of a person that has a job when you have a team.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Because when you have a business and you want to be able to have grow your business next level, it takes more than just you. I'm never going to argue with a person that has a 9 to 5 because they just as critical as a business owner.
Mm.
I have to have a team to be able to do all the things that I do. It's very critical in order for the chamber to do what it's doing in the community and continue to grow. And we're reaching multiple counties. It can't just be one person. So it's very important and very critical that you understand that it is critical about your team as well as your business owner. And maybe the conversations gets inflated because as a business owner, or entrepreneur or a hustler or even an employee, I think it became microwave when social media came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you see the perks, but you're not seeing the real behind the perks, right? You're not seeing really what it takes. You're not seeing the long nights, the long days, the grind that goes into to make sure this is structured, make sure that is structured, meeting whoever, doing all those things behind the scenes. And so some people may discount one way or the other, but I can tell you all of it's critical to the community. So that's a weird thing to get into an argument about.
Yeah.
To me.
It was all over Twitter. It was a big thing. And I was like, this does not make sense. Because like you say, they're all valuable. Like,
very.
I don't know. I don't understand why you're minding other people's business. But hey, do what you need to do.
Yeah, I would never discount a worker or employee. Never.
Yeah, and I think from hearing y'all talk, because even before you, you said what you just said, I think the main thing that separate whether you're looking at it as a business or a hustle, whatever, is the structure and then how you structure and lack thereof.
Yes.
Like I see posts about hustlers and like maybe you doing a bunch of different things, which is fine, but you're not focused on one. Then versus somebody who focus on one thing, so they make sure they take care of that and they curating that, being part of the commerce, going to the meetings, getting the training, and you'll see a difference in the way them two operate. Not saying one is better than the other, but knowledge wise and just structure wise, it'll be probably a difference.
Yeah, and some people have to understand what you're able to do. Some people can be great hustlers. Some people need to focus on one business. Some people need to be an entrepreneur. Some people are better at being on teams and being part of the employee team. But all of it's critical in the whole of any community or economy. You need all of it to make sure you have a strong city and community. And I would think everybody would want to have a strong economy. So you can't really discount one or the other. But I just think it's more of that social media thing and people trying to say, okay, this is really the way to go. And I think it was a trend about, I remember when they were saying like it's let me quit my 9 to 5. I think that was the biggest thing. Like, let me quit my 9 to 5. Let me go my 9 to 5. I don't want anybody controlling my day and this and the other.
And it's just like it doesn't work that way.
Like, right. You need to figure out what your skill set at. I think that's very important. You also need to be understanding, like, you have to pay attention to, like, if you're going to be entrepreneur and business owner, are you able to structure your day? Are you able to build a team? Are you able to really have that skill set to build that SOP, to build those employee procedures, to, even work with other people outside of you?
What's the SOP?
SOP is a standard operating process. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
So it's a book of just operating procedures.
I don't want to shake my head and I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to feel fake.
Yes. I'm so sorry.
Somebody text me and say, what's SOP?
Yeah, just anytime tell me, hey, bring it down. Because I will go there. But yeah, so are you able to do those things? And then be honest. Because any business owner or any entrepreneur understands the importance of a team.
Mm-hmm.
I value my team. Like I would never get into that argument. That is crazy as heck. I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah. And I can use myself as an example too. Like being on both sides, I did entrepreneurship, and now I went back to the 9 to 5 world. I'm probably never going back to entrepreneurship. And not because I wasn't a good entrepreneur. It's just because I realized now looking back, it was not the thing for me. I know where my skill set is. I didn't have it to build a team. And I just didn't necessarily want to build a team. And so I'm just like, guess what? I'm going to be a part of somebody's team. So like you say, knowing your skill set and knowing where your strength lies, that's just pretty much the thing. I'm not arguing with anybody.
Yeah, everybody's strength is valuable, right? You could be an individual contributor. You could be a team contributor. You could be a person that, is best on the team. You could be the person that manages the team, but you need somebody to execute, carry out what you're saying to happen.
Right.
Like that's a whole, you think about a cycle, or like a structure. You need all those pieces to make sure the structure is working.
Everything matters.
Yeah. So, I think people just get emotional probably on social media and get triggered from seeing that entrepreneur life. When you said that, it made me think about, I remember I seen a video and it was like a guy, he was just talking. He was just saying, hey, when you become an entrepreneur, you got to get an LLC. Then you take the LLC, then you go get this, then you go stop, and then you go take this, and you go get you a car, and then you go take the car to the moon, and then he was like, then you go buy a monkey, then you go take the monkey, you go do. It was so funny. I had to post it because that's how it sounds.
You get when you get your LLC next week, you're gonna have $1 million.
Yeah, and it said,
put that job right now.
And then I was like, well, what you doing with the monkey? The monkey's still on the moon, so what we gonna do with the monkey? So my mind was stuck on why's the monkey on the moon? But it's in a video. I know I posted it. I was like, y'all, this is hilarious. But this is how people sound.
and when you think about it, like those are the things that people like y'all battle, because here y'all have the information, whether it be a long program, which I want to get into in a second, whether it be the programs, whether it be what's the thing they doing now? I forgot what it's called, but it's something you can go to. It's like I don't know the name of it. It's on the tip of my tongue, I feel like. But you can go to it, a seminar. There we go.
Okay.
A seminar. Those like kind of, not y'all. I'm not saying y'all scam, but I know people do scams. Saying a seminar, I'm gonna get information. Yeah, it's Google stuff, no big deal, right? But I want to get into y'all program, because the things we talking about with far as social media and how people feel a LLC is accommodated, or can accommodate you, whether it's money wise. And the real is different than what y'all push and what y'all promote and information y'all give out. So let's talk about some of the programs that y'all, because you said 6. I want to talk about each one of them and how each one might have progress, which one was good, which was your favorite. Let's kind of go from there.
Okay, so first we had Bank of America. Bank of America was our very first program in 2021. Yep, 2021, Bank of America. Then from there, we did the city of Aiken.
Hold on real quick. What was Bank of America about? What was it about?
So pretty much Bank of America awarded...
It's an entrepreneurship program.
They awarded us with...
$125,000.
That's it. She know the numbers.
$125,000?
Yes. And we gave 25 businesses $3,000 a piece to pretty much grow and help their business. Of course, they had to go through some training. They did like a month's worth of training, month and a half worth of training. And then after that, they were awarded. We, of course, vetted what businesses we wanted to go through the program.
Y'all be promoting this stuff? Like, y'all be on social media?
Yes. It's everywhere.
So, like, $125,000.
$125,000.
Y'all gave businesses how much was it?
$3,000 a piece. 25 businesses got
90 days of training.
Less than 90 days.
I'm just making sure. I want to make sure I put it out there.
Yeah.
90 days training.
So that was one.
Not 90-second TikTok, but 90 days of actual training.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
3,000. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So then that was that one. Then after that, we did the city of Aiken, where it was a $500K program. And we gave away over 100 and...
Oh my
41,000.
Okay.
How much?
141. About 141,000.
Yeah. To about 42 businesses.
Calculating this
in the city of Aiken, and then we're still doing the loan process. So those businesses that went through the training and they got grants, then they can now go apply for a loan to continue growing and building their business, because we still have money left over.
So 2 programs so far, $266,000.
All right, 2 programs so far.
I know a little bit of math now. I can add now.
I got you. So then after that, we did Money Smart, and Money Smart was through Fifth Third Bank, and that one
didn't have any money tied to it, but all just training, which is very critical to the business owners. Yes. And many of the business owners that have went through the training, they went through Money Smart, because really you have to apply the training to get to the next level in business.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So that was the 3rd one. And the 4th one is going to be another Bank of America one. Bank of America, they spin the block.
I'm with Bank of America, by the way. So shout out to Bank of America.
You know what I'm saying?
They did a second cohort.
Thank
you, Bank of America.
Right. We appreciate you so much.
Yes.
So they did a second cohort where we gave 25 more businesses $3,000
a piece. That was this year.
That was this year. That was the top of this year. So they gave us another 125. And so we did that. Then we partnered with the city of Augusta and got 500 K with that, and we are about to award some business program just wrapped up. And then from there, they'll be able to go through a loan process.
Okay.
And all these programs came with training. Like, we do not give away money just because. While that sounds nice, you got to work for it. We want to make sure that you're structured and that you can actually do good with your money and actually build your business, because our goal here is to see you grow.
Well, I know you had said one of the programs didn't come with necessarily money, but
Mhm.
I mean, I would assume everyone do because you kind of build connections. You get to know people. Y'all can do and so certain. So either
Yes.
way, it's on a money scale. It's still conducive for you to be a part of it because you're gonna see
Right.
something somehow, somewhere.
And learning is a lifelong
Even with
process.
information,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, learning is a lifelong process. Like I just went through training maybe maybe 2 months ago
Mhm.
for a week myself. Didn't come with any money, but I understand the importance of learning. So, and the market is constantly changing. And so if you're serious about your business, you're even serious about you being a professional, if you're serious about your growth in life, you should be constantly learning. So anything that you can take advantage of that is free for you to learn
Mhm.
is critical for that so you can continue to grow and do whatever your objective may be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, the last program is a step up program, which
Okay.
we are currently running thanks to Senators John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock. Um, and pretty much, like I said, that was a 12-month program that we're doing that's going to run once a month with the training, in person or virtual. And then, of course, we have office hours that you can set in person or virtual where you can talk to somebody from the team and get training.
So
But
one-on-one technical assistance
Mhm.
also.
I know, but I don't know how we got to it last time, but last time we spoke, these people aren't just regular people. It's not just somebody quote unquote from the team. These are like people that are certified in the areas,
Yeah,
right?
so
These
subject
are
matter
Mhm.
experts.
Yep.
So yes,
yeah
we always
experts.
have
Yeah,
subject matter experts. We always bring in subject matter experts in that profession. Normally they're doing that real time, meaning like our insurance guy, he teaches on insurance. He is a insurance broker.
He's
So
great.
he is great. Everybody loves his class because he literally just goes through the type of insurances you need, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He can break down any business, any industry, what you should have. Then we have a business credit guy. He does business credit for business owners. He's able to provide trade lines. He's able to work on personal credit. Also, then to work to attack your business credit. Also to help you build your business credit. So we always are hiring in the professionals that handle those jobs and are doing it real today and is successful at the industry that they're in.
that probably be the guy to tell somebody not to just put your business at a loss every year. That probably be that
Oh,
guy, right?
definitely.
Oh, definitely.
He's going to
It
help
just,
you with that.
it just seemed like the people y'all have, like everybody's decorated. So
Yeah, he's gonna
whatever
also tell you don't get a loan. Like everybody's saying, hey, get a business loan for 100,000. He's gonna also tell you do not get a loan if you can't pay it back.
Exactly.
Yes.
just to be clear, loans have to be paid back.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm
Yes.
just for the people.
Yeah.
I know that
Yes.
much.
Grant is money that you receive.
And then grants are always going to be smaller than loans. Grants are
Yes.
not going to be big amounts.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you see grants that'll be like a larger amount, but most of the time, grants are not to sustain your business or to grow your business. It's for you to either add that CPA in, you know, buy some PCs, maybe hire a contractor because you're behind on paperwork and you need somebody to handle that,
Yeah.
take care of that. A grant is to like really just help you to add those pieces to your business or maybe leverage that grant to do down payment on a loan
Mhm.
for a business. That is what a grant is for. The loans is more for you to, have access to capital, have sustaining capital, growing capital, or whatever that may be. So that's the difference really between a grant and a loan.
And I know we spoke last time, even with the people that everybody kind of decorated or, a professional or expert in that field, that's dealing with them outside, not them per se, but dealing with people in those fields outside of being in the commerce or, being a part of
Mhm.
the group, that'd be more expensive as well. Like you paying for that at that point. Like sometimes these people charge a lot just to talk, just to sit down and have a
Oh,
meeting with
definitely.
them.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, all of them definitely have hourly rates.
Mhm.
So we'll usually bring them in to teach a class and then we'll, negotiate their rate to come teach the class, but you're getting that information for free.
Right.
And then usually because they taught the class, they're usually offering you a discount on their services.
Mhm.
So we always talk to our trainers about that and allow them, and people who have took advantage of it. We've seen our business owners grow. We've seen them move into new locations. We've done ribbon cuttings for business owners that have been through our trainings. They have added staff. Those who have really took it seriously and took it to the next level, they're really doing a lot of great things in the community.
I know you mentioned business owners and seeing people grow. So talk about that. Like talk about some, whether it's one, two, no matter.
Mhm.
Some business owners that y'all seen become a part of the commerce and then blossom.
Mhm.
just from the, whether it's the knowledge they got, information they got,
Mm-hmm.
going through the training, and then
Yes.
I guess that structure and what it look like
Yeah.
afterwards.
You wanna?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So I guess we can. We'll probably use this one all the time.
One of them.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure. I think you already know which one I'm about
Which
to
one
use.
you doing?
Elephant in the room.
Okay.
I'm about to say, yeah, so Elephant in the Room literally went through, I believe, 3.
They go through everything.
Yeah, I believe they went through 3 of our programs, if I'm not mistaken. And they literally started off in a smaller location, then they moved to a larger location. And we did their ribbon cutting. And since then, they've hired staff. Now they're, this month, they're doing like a event this month, actually, to bring their resources to the community. So they are somebody who's benefited, where you can see like their growth throughout the years and what they've done. And sometimes, they even said it. Sometimes we just need that refresher. Like, so giving them that refresher so that they can, make sure that they're staying structured within their business, it just works. And I feel like they are definitely a good example of a business that has taken advantage of what we've had to offer.
Yeah, and then even things like we do a grant email every month. And so I remember I was talking to one business owner, and she don't really come to the trainings or anything. She's like, I apply for everything. And I think she's got like 6 grants.
Yeah.
Like, cause she's like, I just keep the information. I just apply for the grants.
That's
And
good,
I'm
though.
just like, oh, wow. Like, I need to do that. Like, I'm like, we developed the grant email, but heck, I need to sit down and do that.
Right.
That's another,
Which one she apply for?
That's another thing that I wanted to ask, because I was talking to somebody and we both said the same thing. Another podcast that I know, and I was asking him. I said, well, I was talking to them, and they mentioned that they will help, or they can kind of help you or guide you with, filling stuff out, because we got to say we both lazy. We don't want to. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to fill nothing out. I remember Karen sent me.
AI will be able to do it soon.
I know, right? Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah.
Look, I'm just
I'll
saying.
send it to him, like send him on Snapchat. But Karen sent me a application one time, and I read that. So yeah, this grant ain't for me. It's too long. And some things I just understand.
Right.
But so if it's something like a grant or something like a application, can business owners or people that's trying to apply or be a part of business, be a part of entrepreneurship, is that something you guys offer as well, as far as helping with
Definitely.
those?
And with just being a chamber of commerce, we offer technical assistance. We're able to now expand the technical assistance onto to a larger region and just continue to make that even scheduled now. But as members always reached out to us, especially what brings me when you're talking about the pandemic. What was the big thing? The PPP lending. Because so many businesses, the ones that were part of the chamber, they were aware of when the PPP loans switched from just traditional banks to fintech companies, like the fintech companies like PayPal, alternative lending sources, which allowed more Black and minority-owned businesses to finally take advantage of the PPP lending. But if you were not connected to like a chamber that was giving you that information, you would be unaware of that, and you might have still been trying to go to your bank to get the loan. But with the chamber, I mean, I think every leader was helping at that time business owners to get their applications in, to get it, to be able to take the loan, actually get the loans. I think we didn't have many business owners that closed during the pandemic.
Yeah.
A lot of them got either PPP lending, or they were able to take advantage of the SBA lending that they had out. They had different types of loans, so we had full sessions on how to apply. We invited our members and non-members to those sessions. So the SBA was doing a lot of training during that time. And so we had a lot of business owners that were growing in the pandemic here in the Augusta, Georgia area.
About that time though, with the pandemic, did y'all see a big boom in like business owners?
Well, yeah, definitely. So I kind of mentioned that earlier. That's why Georgia is the number 1 state for business. Georgia was not one of the states that took the route of shutting down during the pandemic. So I believe that boosted the business numbers up for Georgia. And then we just had an influx of new businesses start during the pandemic, because people were not able to work, or their jobs had, lowered their hourly rate, or their hours that they were getting to get paid. So most people moved into entrepreneurship. That was the next, you're going to feed your family, right? You're going to feed yourself. You're going to make sure you can pay your bills, and you can have a roof over your head. And so most people transition to some type of business during that time. So you have an influx of just new business owners in the market that are like 2 to 3 years old right now, since the pandemic.
I know last time we spoke, you mentioned August being, was it National Black
Business Month? Yes.
Okay. How was that, like in your eyes? How was it a success from y'all standpoint?
We did a lot.
It was busy.
Yeah,
It was a lot.
It was a great month.
It was great.
So our major thing was our Black Business Summit. We did our third annual Black Business Summit on the 24th, 25th.
Black Business Summit.
Yes.
Okay.
So pretty much we host it every year at Augusta Tech, and we have different panelists talk on a lot of different topics. We have them coming from around the state. Some travel from outside of the state as well, but mostly from around the state. And we highlight, of course, the local, the government, the community. We highlight everything pretty much that the chamber stands for, and we give people the forecast of pretty much what Black business throughout the year or just within that moment. That was really good. We had a keynote speaker. We had somebody give some data and some numbers. Then we had a panelist of different people from presidents of other Black chambers. We've had commissioners sit on the panel. So it was.
Yeah, and the thing about the chamber is that we're part of a bigger coalition. So we're bigger of the Southern Region Coalition, which is the 7 states in the South. And so we have a coalition of Black chambers, NAACP, elected officials, and so forth. And so we're touching base on a weekly basis to make sure we're pushing things throughout our community, make our community stronger, and really make sure that we are, supporting the Black community because the highest populations of Black is in the South. And so that's why we're focused on the South and the Southern states. But we also part of Georgia Coalition of Black Chambers of Commerce. So during National Black Business Months, we were, everybody, all the Black chambers throughout the state of Georgia had events. And so I was in Macon for like 2 days. I was in LaGrange and so forth. I'm the first vice president of that organization. And so we had an Access to Capital Summit with banks and all type of great things happening during National Black Business Month. It was a very busy month, but we made sure that we celebrated it well. Yes.
And I asked that because I wasn't even sure if people like even knew that. I know we know like February is Black Business Month, of course, but
yes.
when y'all said last time, I was like, okay, didn't know that was a
we
thing.
got a proclamation from the city of Augusta. This is our third proclamation for National Black Business Month. We got one again at the third annual Black Business Summit. So,
and from your perspective, just knowing the population, knowing how many businesses is around, or I guess on paper, I don't know the stats.
Yes.
I know you keep the stats. I don't know. You're the stat keeper. But she know everything. Everything she just be knowing. Like, I don't know where you pull it from, but you just be knowing it. I don't know if you got extra pockets on you or something, but do you think that majority of businesses, even just in the city, do you think they're taking full advantage of everything that y'all offer?
We definitely are. Well, so our chamber has always been part of a network, and then at the advisement of the senior chambers, they just said we'll be word of mouth, meaning that our members or our partners let people know we're in the community. Because we ran so much programming in the last 2 years, a lot of people are starting to discover us even more, and so we're spreading the word. So we don't do the marketing like other organizations may. We really count on those who are engaged with us to let everybody know. So we always say that at every meeting, bring somebody with you, let them know what's here. Don't keep the good news to yourself. We had about 70 students in class last night. Yeah. And so we let everybody know, like, hey, you're here, now bring some more business owners to this so they can get the information too. But I will say, we had it's so funny you talked about data. We had Census actually on the phone this morning talking all about data. Richmond County. Yes. So she was just giving all the data and giving everybody the reports, information on how to pull reports. You can pull down to how many retired people are in your community, how many, people are, how many kids may be in school, how many kids may be in daycare, this and other. So she was just giving you the information so you can pull the market research for the type of business you want to have. I think a lot of times people get frustrated, especially in Augusta market, because they don't understand the market they're in. They may have an idea of the market they want, but you got to understand the market you're in. And even if you saying, I want this type of product or this type of service, and I want to, put that out there in the market, you just need to know how to reach the market that is intended for that. Right. This may not be the market based off of the data. Yeah. That's why I'm a data person, because you got to really tell it to that data. It's a lot of things I would love to do. I'm traveling all the time and I see a lot of different things and I love a lot of different things, but I'm always looking at what's in the market. Where are we at as a city? Even though we're growing, we have a lot of great things happening. You got to service the market you have right now. So then as it grows, you just agile or change with it. And that's just, just growth and just attrition.
What was that word you use?
Agile.
What does that mean?
Change.
Okay.
That's just attrition. So
I like that word. Agile.
Yes.
So, how can people become a part of the chamber?
Oh, definitely. You can join us at www.mygbc.org. Click on join us and click on membership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from there, at a list, you pick the category you're a part of, the tier you're a part of, and then from there you join.
When you say tiers, it's like so each I guess different. If you do building, construction, fashion, I don't know, is that a tier? Fashion? Is
Not
that the clothing? I don't know.
necessarily. So tier meaning like your level of business. So like
Okay.
it goes based off how many employees you have,
Oh,
or like are you home based, are you nonprofit, that type of. So
Yeah,
you go
or
based off your
professional.
tier that way, or professional. Yeah.
Yes.
So it goes based off your tier and where you fit in that category.
okay. And that determine like different the membership fees
Yes.
okay.
Yeah,
That
it's
makes sense. That
usually
makes sense.
yearly. We're debating about bringing back the monthly.
Yeah.
So that's a huge kind of conversation. But right now it's yearly. It's different tiers, and
Yep.
you can be professional join a chamber. The reason why professionals want to join, a lot of professionals may decide to go into entrepreneurship. Also, we always need volunteers for our committees for us to continue to do the things we do as an organization. So we really want our professional base to be part of the chamber as well. We're doing a lot of great things in the community, but of course that takes people. This is why you don't knock 9 to 5.
Right.
I feel so disappointed in it.
Well, it brings me to a good question though, because I wondered if y'all offer that. Like, do y'all offer social media training? Because I feel like, and I don't know if you know, but like when that was happening, it was a lot of business owners kind of saying that too. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you as a business owner, would you want to be the person that's like downing your fellow business owner because they have a job?
I feel like when it comes to that topic, it's pretty much on like personal preference. You're allowed to think how you think. But as far as running your business go, I do think there's a level of training that you do need for like media presence, understanding your brand, understanding like your target audience and who you want to speak to. And of course, when you say certain things, it does reflect on your business and who you are. So you have to, of course, be mindful of that. But that, based on that topic, it is up for people's personal.
And just with bring your mic up a little bit, but just with the social media thing, yeah, y'all get your hair done and stuff, right? So I just see this a lot. Like if a beautician, I guess that's the word, yeah,
Yes.
beautician. If they,
I think I already know where you're going.
no, I'm not getting to that. I ain't gonna drag
Okay.
y'all to that.
I thought we was gonna talk about these social media hairstylists real quick.
Okay.
Well, no, I ain't going down. Do your thing. You might be hustlers. You might not be. Ain't no structure, right? Yeah,
No
what can we do?
structure.
But I'm just the average beautician. That, like some people, they go online a lot and they just kind of bash their customers a lot. Like so, like is that as y'all consumers, not as chamber of commerce,
Yes.
but as consumers, does that deter y'all sometimes from like wanting to?
Definitely.
That's-
It definitely can. Well, not only does it deter consumers, it also can deter opportunities.
Yeah.
So one thing that I think sometimes people don't think about, and because that's more you're running off of emotion. If you are bashing publicly, if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, hustler, and you're bashing publicly your possible customer, maybe you're getting it, you're not seeing eye to eye with someone, whatever it may be. Yes, in that moment, you may be emotionally and want to respond. Right. And you may want to go back and forth and you're like, okay, I proven myself. And sometimes people don't care. They're like, okay, I'm going to be me. I'm going to do me. And sometimes there's a lane for that. You have a lot of different lanes where people can still make money. But depending upon what your brand is and what your brand presence is, then you have to understand that. And then what do you want people to be able to see about you? Because whether you know it or not, people are always looking.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you got 1 like, if you got 1,000 likes. People are always looking and they're always researching. If one thing I haven't learned is that people are always looking and they're always researching. And nothing's private. If you are on social media, I don't care if your page is blocked private. I don't care if it's not showing or whatever they do to like show it's private or whatever. It is not private.
It's not.
If it's on social media, it is public knowledge.
I could screenshot it, technically speaking, and my page might not be private. So because I'm your friend, and you might think, well, he's a guy, he don't care about this. I post it, go viral, now everybody knows it's you. Everybody can't see it, but they see it's you.
But they see it's you. Yeah, so you got to be careful about, what, and it depends, again, it goes back to your presence, because I think about, it's a lot of female rappers out right now that have a following, right? And some people would be like, "Oh my God, they're this or they're that," right? So if that's your brand and that's on trend with your brand and that's what you want to be known for, then go ahead, do what you do. But you got to understand if that's not your brand and that's not what you want to be known for, you don't want to see a potential customer to see, hey, this is how she treats her customers, or this is how that person or he or she, whoever it is, treats a person that they don't have conflict resolution skills. They can't work it out, even if that person is being antagonist, because there's always antagonists in the world. It's always going to be people who are going to try to get under your skin. That's life. We learned that in elementary.
Yeah.
So, but I think social media, and especially TikTok and other things, and especially here in America, we're in capitalism. So you got capitalism breeds a lot of different things. And so we're in a fast-paced society, and a lot of people don't have the time sometimes to say, let me take a moment, let me breathe before I respond. And sometimes you need to take a step back. And even if you need to get off of social media so you're not responding so that you can understand and protecting your brand. You know what? It is a young lady, Gabby Bowes. She came and we do pitch competitions too.
Oh, yeah.
So
Is that pitch?
Pitch competitions.
Like baseball?
No. Like,
I'm not. I want y'all to be funny.
I'm just thinking about somebody has an awesome brand. Go ahead.
But yeah, no, pretty much a pitch competition is
pitching something.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you pitch your business, like your elevator pitch.
Like
and
that shark show.
Yes.
Yes.
Not on that level as, per se, but yes.
Okay.
Yes,
gotcha.
but close to it. So we've been doing that since day one. And we had Gabby Bowes came down from Columbia, South Carolina. And she, her mom reached out. She's like, hey, my daughter is 9 years old. She has a barrette. We want to come join your pitch competition in Augusta. Can you come? And she's like, we're not a member of the chamber, but we would love to. Sure. I'm like, yeah, come. And so she actually won our first pitch competition. Her barrettes is, I think she's about 14, 15 now.
Yeah.
Her barrettes is in Target stores. She has a warehouse. She actually purchased, with our pitch competition, she purchased the software to start her Mommy and Me entrepreneur kit for other young girls. Now,
I heard of her. Okay.
Yeah, so she came to Augusta to the Black Chamber and actually won our first pitch competition.
That's what's up.
And so I think about when you talk about brand presence, I think about them because I still follow her, and sometimes I talk to her mom, and I'll look how they respond to their customers or how they're responding on social media. And I was like, OMG, like they are just professional response. Laugh. Even if it's something that they want to address, they make it kind of comical.
Right.
And I was like, you could, a lot of people could learn from a young lady that's a teen of how to really represent their business in a great way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's great.
So again, it depends on where you want to go, right? Her goal was always to be in larger stores.
But the pitch competition.
Yes.
How do y'all promote that? I never heard of this.
So it usually happens
every November.
In November. We did a pre-pitch at our expo.
Yeah, we had a pre-pitch already
May.
Yes.
And so pretty much like we advertised everything else, you can join our non-member emailing list and then sign up there. If you are a member, you get our weekly emailing.
Follow us on social media.
And then of course I was getting there. Follow us on social media because we also post there we post there like crazy. Something goes out every single day. So we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn. And also YouTube. And then we're literally the Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce, or my GABC. And then literally you can see everything that we post and share there. And we frequently post about everything. So when people say they miss something, I'm very surprised because we make sure that you know what's happening.
Yeah, if you're paying attention, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I would say that we're very intentional about the information we're putting out. We're very intentional about the things we do. So if we're putting something out, it's probably something you want to pay attention to.
I will say, I said something earlier about when the people that are members or come to meetings and things like that. I've seen a lot. I'll get a lot of messages from them. Like, you should come to the event you had at Augusta Tech. I remember I got that message like 4 or 5 times, you know what I'm saying, from different people.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're part of they got businesses, so I'm assuming they are, but they did, like 5 of them did message me like differently. Come here. So they do a lot of promotion for y'all as well, like the people that's a part of the culture and that's the brand. So they do a great job.
Well, thank y'all.
But shout out to the members,
right.
of course.
And
the team.
So when I asked about how to be a member, you said go online and stuff like that. But I'm just asking, I have to clarify, just make sure. I know you
Yes.
said earlier, but it can be white and be members also. Like not only
Yes.
black, not just minorities,
Yes.
just everybody, right?
We accept any ethnicity, any race.
Okay. I want to make sure I'll make that my story. I want to make sure I put that out there so they
Yeah.
can get that little piece. It's
Yeah.
like everybody can come.
Yeah.
And then also, like what are the meetings like? Like if you can give me like what the environment be looking like when y'all there.
So it depends on what meeting you go to. If it's a members only meeting, then of course we're there to address our members, hear them out on the things they may need from us, or we're there to just make sure that they're taken care of and we're doing our part. And of course checking in on them because we want to make sure that they're doing okay. Then from down to a new members orientation may look different than just a members meeting. New member orientation, we want to make sure that the new members understand what we have going on and that this is the right fit for them. And how we can continue to help them grow and maneuver within now this new space being a part of the chamber. And then networking events, they vary. Each one, we try to do a different topic, different theme for each networking event. So sometimes we'll have icebreakers so that way you can mix and mingle with different people in the room. We have games going on. I know one of our networking events, we did bingo.
Mm-hmm.
And so we played business bingo. And I based it off of each business.
Okay.
That was in the room. So they kind of had no choice but to talk to the businesses in the space because we wanted them to get to know each other. And then sometimes our networking events, we have a guest speaker, someone who comes to speak for expertise to talk about it, to talk about their level of expertise and give them some quick tips and advice. Then some of our morning call, we can count that as, a little networking space as well. Our morning call is pretty much for us to give you a rundown on what we've been doing in the past month and what's to come in the upcoming month. And then, of course, sometimes the speaker is on that. And then we love to give members an opportunity, members, non-members, leaders, pretty much anyone an opportunity to speak on what's going on.
That's the first Friday of every month.
Yes.
So we had one this morning.
Oh, it is first Friday. Crazy.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah.
But so, and far as businesses, are they held to a certain standard, like far as like how they have to conduct themselves outside of y'all, just them running a business?
We have a membership code of conduct, and we, of course, we're all adults, so we should know how to run our business, but we do have a membership code of conduct.
Okay, cool. And I asked that question if anybody's watching because I know like y'all are congruent, so you might say this business. But also, you're not going to be saying this business if they got a bad code of conduct or they, I don't know, not doing right. Let's just say not doing business right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we have a membership code of conduct just for that. If something, because things come up, you're dealing with people, right? So if something comes up, that way we can go through and we have it in our bylaws and member code of conducts or, code of conducts just to say, okay, this is the code of conduct. As an upstanding member, we ask that, whatever it may say, do good business, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's very simple. It ain't no crazy rules or anything like that, but kind of like we're all adults. We expect you to do good business, be fair,
right,
be professional, not going back and forth and creating those type of things. But but that is pretty standard in any a lot of chambers of commerces and so forth and organizations.
Are there any challenges y'all have with like not only with businesses but just in general y'all day-to-day operation? Is there any challenges in what y'all do?
Yeah, we run an organization.
Yeah.
I mean, who don't have challenges?
People are people, and we deal with people. So, yeah, like we have the challenges every now and then.
Yeah.
It's not an everyday thing.
Yeah. I would say, but it's challenges. I think about, it's my world of work,
Yeah.
I always think about back and just leaning back on my corporate history for 10 years. But, I just feel like I'm old sometimes, but yes, but even at work, you have employee things you have to deal with. You deal with, coworker issues. You deal with customer issues. It's no different because you have a business or organization. That's why I always tell people, when you're moving from employee to business or to entrepreneurship, are you ready to manage and deal with all those things? Because that's going to come along with it. Just because you move from the word of work to entrepreneurship or business, you still need the structure that you had in work. Can you structure yourself? Can you do those things? Can you deal with, hey, now you have to be the HR person, or maybe now you have to handle this situation with a consumer and customer. So are you ready to handle all those things? Before you had a guide that told you, okay, say this if the customer does this, right?
Yeah.
Do this if this, say that. Now you have to be the person to come up with that. So are you prepared for that? Because it comes with a lot of responsibility when you're stepping into that role. So I think but any type of issues, we definitely handle it professionally. Go by our bylaws or procedures. We're in a world of a lot of different things, so I
Well,
think that's the way life.
when you said that, I thought about going back to the 9 to 5 thing
Okay.
as well too. And a lot of times that'd be the good thing. So people that have worked a 9 to 5 before,
Mm-hmm.
right? That not saying well, you know the importance of an HR and what that person does.
Yes.
Whether it's a manager above you, what that person
Mm-hmm.
does, or the importance of roles and responsibilities of each person and
Yes.
each position. And I think when you don't have that knowledge, a lot of times that's when you don't have the structure also as well.
Right.
So a lot of times, people can bash on whatever the case may be, but even if you don't get that training
Mm-hmm.
from whether it's from y'all or just wherever you get the training from, you kind of got some insight to what a structure looks like by working at a business as well.
Yeah,
you
take
know?
your employee background with you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure. Like,
Yeah.
if anything, I was listening to a business owner, like a multi-million-dollar business owner, and they were just talking about one thing I learned from being an employee was the structure, and I took that with me. And I think that's something that you always need to remember. You still need structure,
Mhm.
even when you go to entrepreneurship and business. It doesn't mean you drop your structure and you just control your day and it's like la la land. In
Yeah.
order for you to grow, to see the things, you still have to have structure. It's still a method to what you're doing.
When I was I think it was 19 on 20, I don't know. Anyway, one of them years, and I had owned a Gary's Hamburgers in Graniteville, and I remember like where I work now. I wish I knew what I knew then. 'Cause I didn't know
Uh-huh.
that stuff then. So on slow days, like I ain't let's send people home. Like it's slow,
Yeah.
like we just in there talking. Like I'm
Now
only
you
19,
know.
so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I could have just did everything probably because it's slow and make
Uh-huh.
my money or whatever. And yeah, so I think about that now, and I'm like, well, I'm glad things happen how it happened because you have to be in a big corporation or businesses, whether it's Fortune 500 companies, whatever. And you get to see, okay, that's why that's needed. So when y'all
Yes.
said with the CPA, I can understand why that's needed if I know the position and the role that person plays,
Mhm.
But somebody that never worked before might be like, because they come from hustling, So they're
Yes.
like, why can't I just put it in the shoebox?
Yeah.
What I need bank for?
Why you need that for?
What's Fifth Third?
Yes,
What's
yes,
credit? I don't need credit.
You'll need that. You'll need that.
But that was a lot of the conversation too. A lot of people was just
Yes.
hustlers, so they just was hustler mentality. Like, I don't
Right.
need that. I just get that and get that. That's not how it works. It don't work that everywhere. But so just so I can get that. Anybody with businesses obviously can
Mhm.
apply, and you don't have to have a big business, small business,
No.
whatever. You could not have sold a T-shirt ever, but you got a T-shirt business, and
Mhm.
y'all still can apply. It's still
Yes.
applicable. Y'all still treat them just like they
Yeah.
Yeah.
sold
Yeah.
6 figures.
Come part
or
of
whatever.
GABCC family.
Right.
Yes.
And what shirts y'all got? I'm gonna get one. Absolutely.
Look at that. See, condoing already. You know what I'm saying? and I wanted to make sure that was clear because I know in the last one, that was one of the better parts of me, just saying that small businesses, like, they have all these questions, but they be scared to ask. Or
Yeah.
because they
So
don't-
what
they
they'll
don't know.
feel, what they'll realize is that we have a small business feel to our organization. So we're constantly giving out that information that we know the small business owners need, mid-sized businesses, and even large businesses can get value from. Because we're definitely on trend with what's happening in the world, what's in the market, what's going to be critical for them to understand, especially with a lot of our trainings at the Step Up program going to handle like business automation, AI, artificial intelligence, the Chat GPT, all those things you're seeing. Descript that's out that you can edit a video in like 2.5 seconds, and change the words on the
That's
video
wild.
and all these things. So it's going to be covering a lot of those different tools that you can really add into your business today.
And I know I asked you last time. What was your favorite program though? I don't know y'all said it. I know y'all mentioned program. What was your
You
favorite?
have a favorite one?
The Bank of America one top of this
Okay.
Why was it?
I love them all because I'm going to continue to make sure we get programs funded for the community.
don't get me wrong, I enjoyed them all because I am the person who most of the times the participants are talking to, so I've really built a special like relationship with everyone. But I feel like the reason why I like the Bank of America one at the top of this year, I feel like we hit a groove,
Okay.
and so that's when we really got like into like
Okay.
our program, like flow, and I was just like, okay, you know how to do this now.
Did y'all doing it before have anything to do with it? Like just second time, so were you able to fix any mishaps you had the first time, or anything that was like rough the first time? But did it go more smoothly this time because?
Well, I think
Yeah, done it
were you
before?
involved the first two?
I wasn't. Only thing I was involved in on the first one
Was-
was the check. presentation, and then I
Or
came for
then you
first
came
Bank
to
of
Aiken.
America. Then
So
I
she
came
wasn't
in on
involved in
Aiken.
all of them.
I wasn't
Okay.
involved in all of them.
Yes,
I
yes.
was 5 out of 6.
So good addition to the team. Good addition.
Yeah.
It ran smoothly now. So
You know,
Yeah,
nothing
five
yes,
out
wrong
of
with that.
yes,
6.
yes, yes. Of course, you always improve process. I'm a big business process improvement specialist. As far as like Six Sigma trained, that's just where you go in and you kind of update processes. So I'm big about that. So in general, anything that comes out of my brain, I'm always going to be seeing, okay, where can we improve? Where can we add the processes? This, that, and other. But these literally were built out of, Michael T. Hill, which is one of our partners. We ran some capacity building in another city. We wanted to bring that to Augusta because we were like, this makes sense. We need it for our community. We need it for our business owners. Let's get it running here. And now you see the development of the Step Up program, which is, well, you see my brainchild's kind of everywhere right now.
Well, I think it's dope though that y'all was able to 6 programs now, right?
Yes.
6 program, almost close to $1 million. I did my addition.
Well, we've given out so far over $300,000 in grants, and $25,000 in loan, and then we'll surpass that here really soon when we do the grants for the city of Augusta. And then yes, we in program administration we definitely ran over about $2 million.
Yeah, when you talk $1 million, I mean, I just feel like that's something it's attainable, and it's out there for everybody.
Oh, definitely
Everybody-
attainable.
for
And I
sure.
think, one thing I want to kind of point out is that the Black community and why it's so critical that, we are focused on access to capital and even supporting the Black chambers throughout the community is that we get, less resource. Even as an organization, even everything we're doing, we still have to fight to get the dollars. We still are not getting as much as, our counterparts. Even though they see the work that we're putting in. So that's a thing that we have to be passionate about. And then we understand that because not only are we in it, we understand what our Black business owners are dealing with. Like they get not get the same access to capital as other business owners.
Right.
Meaning they're could be denied when other business owners may get approved. They're also not getting the same amount as like even if they do get approved, maybe they'll get like $500K. They may get approved for like $250,000. So that is still happening today. That is data that you can find anywhere from any Ivy League school. So we got to remember those type of things, and then that of course discourages our community, and sometimes they just don't apply. And so we still have those type of gaps within our community and access to capital, and when it comes to this working capital and so forth, we have to be strategic, intentional about helping our Black business, Black organizations to get those things done.
And I know, like, at least in what I do in my field, whenever it's a slow, say if this week was raining or whatever, right? They want you to make plans still. I don't care. The plan's $1 million. It's make $1 million. Right? So they always call. Well, what are you doing? Are you not digging into this, digging into that? What about the flooring? What installs? Whatever, right? And then so when you mention like the grants and how much I have given out or loans, whatever, and I hear somebody with a Black business, they always say, well, the city don't support, or I'm not getting support here, wherever you're at. I don't care, Atlanta, Augusta, I don't care where you at. But then, I might start asking that, like, are you a part of this? Are you doing this?
Ask them.
I
Sure,
feel like
ask
those
them.
are things that people are not looking at because you mentioned 3,000. Let's just say you get it one time.
Yeah.
That's 3,000. That can take you a lot of places depending on what you do with it.
Yes,
Or
I can
do
tell
you have
you.
a CPA?
I
Do
can
you
tell
have
you
this?
Yeah, I can tell you what businesses have done with it. I know one leveraged it to get their vehicle, get their new loan for a new vehicle.
Yeah.
They have a transportation service, so now she's grown her transportation service. Some people bought new PCs, new computers. Some people added a contractor. Some people changed all their insurances with it. Some people changed their whole CPAs with the grant money, and so forth. But yeah, you always have to ask a person. Well, try to figure out why do they feel that way and what have they done to try to help themselves. And sometimes you'll figure out that they have not took their steps to, because I think accountability goes on both sides.
Yep.
Like if I feel frustrated, like I can't get the resources, I feel like our community's not getting the resources, I'm gonna go out and try to find the resources. That's
Right.
what I do. And I'm like, okay, let me go try to find it. If they're saying no, then I'm going to wherever I can go to try to get the resources here. And then I think you have to think about if you feel like there's no support, try to look around and say, okay, what have I done to try to find the support? And then is it that I don't understand the support? Have I reached out to an organization to say, hey, can you help me through this? What was that conversation? How did that go? What was that process or procedure? And then it could be that. But then some people, they're just like to complain. So you got to figure out what category they're in.
The third one.
And then you kind of just be like, okay, this and that, because there's a lot of resources out here for business owners,
Yeah.
I would say, and for the community. But it's also always go back to, but what are you doing to make sure you're in the room to get the resources or taking the time to do it? And all of us are busy. Trust me.
Yeah, definitely.
All of us is, but we always have to take time to like do the things that's important for us.
Yeah, and I 100% agree. And now, even me knowing information now, I'm thinking about other people I've seen or businesses I've seen that complain or said this, said that. I'm like you. I said the same thing. You're not. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Don't. I'm the wrong person to complain. I'm gonna tell you right now. You can hate my response. You know what I'm saying? I get blocked
and
a lot
look,
by that.
And
So.
I grew up in. You can't complain. You got to go get it.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
ain't no
there,
complaining.
though,
What you gonna go do?
Everything is there.
Yeah.
So even the person I'm asking, like it's stuff that they should know, or if you in that field, you should want to be around those. Yeah, y'all said something last time. It was a quote I had. I don't remember.
Association brings on assimilation.
There it goes.
Yeah. So who are you hanging around?
So who you hang around?
Who are the people?
Eventually, is what you become.
Yeah, and then like, who do you want to be like? Like you may want to be a farmer. You may want to be a person that's like living in no man's land and this and other. So are you following those people? You may want to be a multimillionaire. Is that really your goal? Is that something you really want to do? Yeah. Some people, I think a lot of people say that because they're in capitalist societies. They're like, I want to be a multimillionaire. I want to do this and that. But do you really want to, or do you just want to make like a certain amount and make sure you have enough to take care of your family?
Right.
Because a lot of people sit back and think, it's like, well, really, I just want to be able to do that. I want to be able to save, take care of my family, go on vacation, not deal with all the stuff a multimillionaire deal with. Because it comes with a lot if you're dealing with that, right? Yes. But you could be like in the middle and be totally fine and happy. So like I keep going back to, you got to understand who you are so you'll know what trajectory to take for yourself. Right.
Yeah, I 100% agree. That was amazing how you put it. So you put it very well. Yeah. And you said that was called association.
Association brings on assimilation.
Brings on assimilation. Okay, cool.
My mom has been telling me that since I was a little girl.
No. I would say that's really true. I would think that even when I went on this journey of entrepreneurship, didn't know what I was going to do. So that's why I think I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship. And I started off in different arenas. And then it led me to building something I didn't never have on my list. I know what's on my list, and I'll probably get back to it eventually one day. But it really helped me to understand how to navigate what occurs. And then like when it I can always tell when I'm growing, because it seems like my associations change. Like I start being shifted by different groups. And so I started paying attention and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So like pay attention to that. Are you still around the same people? Of course you have your core group, your people, your friends. I'm not talking about that, but in the work world, entrepreneur world, etc. If you're not seeing the things you want to see, it may be your association.
You said a good thing. I was just going to say balance, duality. You're allowed to have that.
Yes.
Like have your friends. Have your people you hang out with. Same with even social media, to the conversation we had about social media. You can also curate what you see. Like sometimes now, a lot of the stuff that happen, I miss a lot of trending topics because that's just not even what's on my feed anymore.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, that happened? Oh, that's crazy. Because I was over here watching something completely different. And like my feed looks totally different. So yeah, like of course have your balance, your duality, like be mindful of who you're around when it comes to entrepreneurship, business, your profession, everything with that. And then build around those people. Then also, of course, keep your core people to keep you who you are.
Yeah. I think, in all actuality, you do that when you're younger anyway, sometimes, depending on your lifestyle. Of course, when you're young, you're in school, you might have your friends, I don't know, like if you're in an urban community or whatever, you might live in a project or whatever, but you might play ball, so you go to school with a Catholic school. So, like, you're going to act different with those friends than you are. But you realize that some friends, you get to get further because of what they know and their connections, and then your friends, you're going to, it's fun. You're going to do your fun stuff, but then you start to come across that, for what I want to do, this might be the better thing to be around for right now. So, yeah, I can see that. I always was told, you're going to get as far as people around you for no reason. It's the same thing, I guess, It's like for no reason at all, you might be successful just because you're around successful people,
Yeah,
and then for no reason at all, you can end up somewhere else just because you're around some people that's going to end up somewhere else anyway, Yes. So yeah, that was great. This was a good conversation. I was unsure. I was like, I don't know how it's gonna go now. I ain't want to overdo it and try to be too funny or like. I didn't want to recycle. I didn't want to be like, I'm gonna say this joke again. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna hit the same. I say it the second time, but I feel like I got more information this time than last time, so that was good.
Okay.
So that was
Probably,
dope.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely from both of y'all too. So you know, you was a little more quiet last time, but this time you was more open. You know, that was dope. Yeah, definitely. And I was on a time limit last time. I was like, hey, I'm getting 50 minutes. Let me get out of here. But is anything y'all socials or y'all want to give out on how to reach y'all? Reach
Yeah.
y'all.
Okay. So our website is mygabc.org.
Clap it up for you, Rick, because you got it right. That's a lot.
Yes,
That's a
yes.
lot.
Yes. And then our program website is mygabcstepupprogram.org. And honestly, if you go to the website, it has programs as a tab on top. And when you touch it, it'll take you down to the step up, and then you can go there that way if need be, if you can't remember all these .orgs. And then, of course, across the board on social media, we are literally MYGABC. And you can find us, like I say, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn and YouTube. And we literally promote everything there. You see us highlight our ribbon cuttings. You see us, of course, highlight the different events that we do. And then, of course, any information that you need, you can go right there. And you can, from our website, you can email us. Our numbers on the web.
On the website.
Yep,
Yes.
on the website.
Okay.
Everything's
You
on
know,
the website.
everything's on the website, and we'll respond within 24 to 48 hours. You know, typical business time. But we will make sure that you get whatever you need.
That's great. That's great. You any closing out statements from you?
I don't know. Thank you so much for having us on
Yeah.
your podcast.
You're
I really
welcome. Thank
appreciate
y'all.
it.
It was
and
fun.
yeah, it was fun. And really nothing. We just want to continue to see Greater Augusta community continue to grow.
Mhm.
I think it's a lot of great things here in the city. It kept me here for quite some time. And I wanted to give back to the community. So I just, definitely say it's a lot of great things. I think everybody should just continue to collaborate, continue to grow, continue to work together,
Mhm.
find the people you're aligned with. If you're not aligned with them, that's totally fine. You're not supposed to work with everybody, everyone. Let me say that again. You're not supposed to work with everybody all the time, right? It's people you're aligned with, and you find your tribe or your crew, and you move forward, and that helps us all move forward together. So just remember, we're one community, one voice. And yeah, that's all I'll say.
I
Anything
like
you
that.
want to
That was
add?
dope.
No.
Great outro.
Great
outro.
I about to say,
But
just
it's
thank
like-
y'all.
Got a lot of information out of y'all, so I definitely appreciate that. And even from the audio I put out the last one, people still love the information y'all got. They're like, "Oh, that was nice. I ain't know that. I ain't know this." So this was good to have because some people don't know, and regardless of not, they might be in business, might be successful, they still don't know about this just because
Yeah.
they're successful because they don't. I guess they don't need to know. They feel like So I think it's just good to know that this is here for
Yes.
whoever's here for.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because it might not be for everybody, but it might be for some people.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
So definitely shout out to y'all. So I appreciate y'all for coming through. All right.
Thank you.
y'all.
All right. More Message Podcast. We out.